like Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley saw Santiago as the winner. What do you got?
It as a boring fight. And this is the second time Ancajas has been on ESPN and has given
the
dull fight.
ESPN the
We
Cinco.
drove to Fresno for him last time, Lee. This is a fighter we went to Fresno for.
Yeah, but that was more about having lunch and hanging out. I mean, let's be
no
honest.
doubt. Remember, he had a sparring match. It seemed like he had a sparring match with his friend. This one wasn't as boring, but he's just, I don't know, to me, he's not that guy. You know, they're looking, you got to be a little bit more special than the two fight. There's a lot of other guys that deserve opportunities that he's getting right now. He needs to either perform or he's going to get pushed aside by Top Rank, especially with the departure of HBO. Now Top Rank, ESPN kind of is going to be running shit right now. You might want to sign.
I think that Bob Arum looks like a fucking genius at this moment.
I know. No, Lee, they folded when Bob Arum left.
Right.
I'm sorry. And anyone who wants to say, "Oh, it happened when," and I love how
everybody can play armchair. Bob pulled stakes and took away their programming, and they got their feelings hurt. We're not going to do boxing anymore, man.
Well, no, they had no boxing to do anymore. See, they already burnt.
Oscar could have stepped up and dominated the network and won. Oscar won. We could have Canelo fight again. How many times can you have Canelo fight, Oscar?
He doesn't have enough fighters, and he's already spread out too.
Right.
De La Hoya's got contracts everywhere with these fighters. So no, HBO. They needed to stick with Bob Arum. Bob Arum's one of the oldest, most successful promoter in this sport. When you burned your bridge with him, you folded. I'm sorry. Al Heyman and them left a long time ago. Did not bother HBO. Did not bother Top Rank. They've been keeping their things going. They collapsed when Bob Arum decided to move all of his fighters to ESPN. People, I could have swore we said in the end of last year, ESPN, didn't they have the top 7 out of 10 most watched fights on the TV? Doesn't that tell you everything right there? If all those fighters were on HBO, who would have had the most watched fights on TV?
Let's say quietly a quick goodbye. We'll talk about HBO more, but don't you feel bad they're gone?
Love-hate relationship. I don't like this Peter Nelson guy. I seen the decline a long time ago. He just doesn't have it he's not a good matchmaker. He doesn't know how to put his foot down and demand certain fights with the power he's not a Les Moves, right? Is that the man's name at CBS that put his foot down on Floyd to get the Pacquiao fight?
Yes.
You gotta like that sometimes. You're throwing around millions of dollars. Now I understand how everyone's saying that the streaming world is going to take over eventually. I don't think HBO really had to worry about that on their fighters. At least they've had a history of billion-dollar nights. They've had a history of putting pay-per-views on and in a matter of hours bringing in hundreds and hundreds of $millions. That's, to me, better than whatever movie you're putting on
Are
a
you sure it's not a commentary about boxing and less about HBO?
What's this? What do you mean
by
this?
I mean, HBO could be a product of the fact that there are no superstars anymore.
Well, yes. When you
there's no Chavez, there's no Whitaker, there's no Taylor, there's no. I mean, what made HBO are these fighters?
I believe Bob Arum would have made him those guys out of Terrence.
Well, he could have done it. Yeah, Terrence Crawford, Vasily Lomachenko. Yeah. He's got enough superstars to make it work.
Yes.
And fight him every
You got Saul Alvarez. Right. You got Triple G still on the network. They had an avenue. They have a guy who the VP or president. I think he's the VP of sports. Peter Nelson. He ran this into the ground. His ego and his decision making on some of these matches, how he accepted some of these matches, is what ultimately put HBO into the ground. And they need to come. They need to see that this isn't about, this is what our fan. I dropped my HBO. I don't give a shit. You know what? I watch those shows, Lee. I watch those shows, but I've had HBO since I left my mother's house. My mother had HBO. We were a family of HBO, and that's that. We love boxing. This is the sport we watch. So I've had HBO my whole life. I canceled it on the first day. I want to prove a point that no, if you do not have boxing on your network, I have no problem not watching your political shows or your political driven reality shows or whatever you want to call these new shows. They just seem like they're getting so far off script nowadays. No, I'm over it. I'm over it. You know, I used to love the Bill Maher show.
But if HBO was doing 24/7 with the Raiders on their football thing.
I'm not buying a network just because of one 24/7 show. I will stream that fucking thing the next day. I will get it on stream that day. Like, that's what I'm saying, Lee. A lot of this stuff, man, you see it on the internet really fast. Until HBO can stop that. Dude, this Game of Thrones, I was watching the UK release it a day earlier, hours earlier, before it even showed in America. Okay? This is how bad the internet has gotten for cable television. Don't need to spend over $200 on your dumbass packages just to watch a show that I could watch for free on the internet. Your shows are not that good. I'm dead serious on that. The Game of Thrones, I love it, but I'm not a fanatic. It's not like I run home, oh, fuck, Game of Thrones is on. No, it's not like that for me. Maybe some other people, but none of their shows. What is the other one? Silicon Valley? Love the shit out of that show. Ballers? Love the shit out of the show. Doesn't mean I'm running home to watch these things. I watched them because they were on, and I have HBO. Guess what? I have Netflix too, and I'm gonna start watching all of their shows and get more Hulu streaming apps and everything else. And that you are not the driving point because of Silicon Valley, Ballers, and Game of Thrones. I'm sorry, that's not what made me buy your network. It was the fact that you had the best fighters in the world fighting on your network.
By the way, how do you people not think that we would be great talking about just random topics? Did you hear that, Rand? Andrew was epic. Go to fightnetradio.com and be epic on our Facebook page and let us know if you want a bonus episode each week of Andrew just talking topics. I think it would be great. I think it would be the most compelling thing ever. Ever. Like, I'll give you a topic. Here's a topic, Andrew. Where's the best place to have a michelada in Vegas?
I don't know, Lee. What the hell is that?
I don't know. What do you do? What you timeshare? You're like an old married couple.
Yes, that's
that is so crazy that you own a timeshare in Las Vegas.
Hey, but you know what? That thing, I got to tell you, it worked for me on Mayweather-Pacquiao. There wasn't a... Hey, Lee, how did they have a room? How did they...
Look, there's always a room. Look, this weekend...
That was awesome.
I know for the people who don't know, but I'll be honest. The reason I was in Vegas was it was the auction, the auction over at the Mandalay Bay for sports cars. I picked myself up a brand new Aston Martin to add to my collection. I had my eye on it for quite a while. I only spent $1 million this time, Andrew.
Nice.
And that was the only reason I went out there. So I was staying at the Rio to save money to go to the Mandalay Bay to spend $1 million on an Aston Martin. By the way, don't stay at the Rio. Fucking beds are miserable. My God. They give you big, giant-ass rooms with shit-ass beds.
I work for a man whose father helped. He was one of the 4 men that helped create the .com that helped the internet.
Yeah.
He has an elevator in his garage with those Doc Martens. Is that the car? Yeah, I've seen
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, yeah.
Actually, I am actually thinking about getting the
elevator?
No.
The fucking garage has an elevator. Don't let that buy, Lee. Don't let that
That's
buy.
Not crazy.
That is crazy. He has 5
I live on a
cars.
single-story house because I don't want to go upstairs. But I would install an elevator.
They're in the ground. These ones are in the ground. Don't ask me how it works. I haven't asked a man to turn on the fucking elevator of cars while I was there. I'm hoping one day I get that good with them. Can I just see? But they must go up. One comes out. You drive it out. You put the rack down. I don't know how it goes, Lee. But, yeah, they're underground. 5 of them.
Do I care about Figueroa Escandon tonight at all, Andrew?
He's undefeated. Yeah, Escandon's a good gatekeeper. If you're not doing nothing, why not? I wouldn't say, pass your
Okay,
kids
what
over.
would you spend? Okay, if you're me, and you know what's on Sunday Night Football, your football game's going to be over. My football game will be over at 3 or 4 o'clock. But what time do they go live on Fox Sports?
Probably, I'm going to say
8 o'clock
7,
East Coast?
8. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that's Pacific Standard, bro. I don't know.
No,
Look
because
it up,
it's
Lee.
wait, there it is. Televised begins 9 o'clock, 6 Pacific. They start over there at 4 o'clock. So if I want to get the undercards and everything to make it worth my while, right? As soon as the Chargers probably beat San Francisco by 80? It's got to be 80-0, right? I'm not. I wanted to bet. I so badly wanted to take all of my winnings and bet them all on the Chargers minus the points. And by the way, the unders. I don't think that the Chargers by themselves will score 50 points. And I don't think that there's no way San Francisco's scoring today. There is no way. They don't have a quarterback.
Funny. It's funny when Garoppolo was quarterback, they're like, all Niner fans are like, oh man, we're not going to do
Super
good
Bowl.
because
Super
we don't
Bowl,
have
baby.
No, wait. They're all, we don't have good enough wide receivers. We don't have a good enough running back. Our running back got hurt. This sucks. They lose Garoppolo immediately. Man, we're not going to win because our quarterback's out, man.
Yeah, but you're a San Francisco hater to begin with. You are a huge San Francisco hater.
It's funny how fast that switched.
You should be supporting him. That's like me saying, I don't like the Rams.
I ain't support. Shit, Oakland. We're from Oakland, California. We're not from the Bay Area.
It's all the same, dude.
No, it's not. That's where you got it wrong. No,
are
it's
you
not.
hating because they're up in the town with all the gay people?
No.
That's what it is. It sounds to me like you're a hater.
Oh my gosh, this is not the same. We're not the same fan base. We aren't, dude. That cheese and wine shit is real over there. That has nothing to be about homo. That's just that whole Lee. I was at a Raider Niner.
By the way, your wife. By the way, I know this about your wife.
Story.
Your wife would be a wine and cheese wife if she got a chance.
You're tripping. She already had a chance. She didn't go that way. She came back. Hey, listen to me.
So what you're saying is she's a parking lot Raiders Michelada girl.
Listen to me. We're at a Raider Niner game in Frisco, right?
Yes.
The people next to us, checkered picnic table, cheese, wine, the whole thing. It was right in front of me. I'm like, holy shit, it's real. They asked us to put our music lower during the tailgate.
Yeah, they're adults.
That didn't happen. Let's just say that. But yeah, no, we're not the same fan base. Sorry, we don't go over there and high five like, oh yeah, what's up, dude? Sorry.
I just love playing the autumn wind in the background when you go on a Raider rant. I just do. I wasn't even going to tell you just so that it would like make people happy because I know what our fan base enjoys most about this show, or at least Joselle. All right, I just like making Joselle laugh. Somewhere he's driving and he's listening to this and just, oh my God, he talked about me. Calm down. Everybody just calm down. Everybody back away. I don't have any epic rants planned yet, but we haven't done the news because we're up to the news, kids. This is the part of the show you've all been looking forward to. That's right, the news. Oh, and answers. Tell me these are just one link. What, each one of these?
Yeah. No. You don't have to read the story.
All that shit down at the bottom?
Wait a minute.
That's 97 stories.
Now, that's why I was like, Lee, I didn't think you looked at the scripts.
Fuck, bro.
I said, Lee, we did 20 minutes of nonsense. We got a lot of news here.
45 minutes. You want me to? All right.
Hey, wait a minute, Lee. Not all of it. You have to read every story.
All right. But you know that I've got. Look, the only reason people are listening to the show at this point, like they don't get the news already into their feed. They're waiting for us to find one story, go to town on that one story. But the only way I'm going to find that one story is if I go through every single story.
Oh, my gosh. All
Billy-Joe-Saunders, my favorite fighter ever. The British Boxing Board control moves swiftly and decisively by handling Billy-Joe-Saunders 26-0. They fined him $100,000. Saunders and his friends offered $150 for crack in exchange for performing sex acts. Okay, we all know that. That's what
and then just said, "Will you slap the dude?" And the chick did. I guess she just hit.
Didn't we do this story?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We did this story last week. I don't mean to stop you from talking about the story. We did the story last week. I thought you had the follow-up story where he got